Today we're going to continue with topic 1 and talk about similar figures. So my question for you is this: what is the difference between two figures being congruent and two figures being similar? So take a minute and think about that. What does congruent mean and what does similar mean? Well, congruent means two things are exactly equal. They have exactly the same measure. If you would put one on top of the other, they would completely match up and one would completely cover the other. If two figures are similar, what that means is they basically have the same size or the same shape, but not necessarily the same size. So congruent figures are exactly the same. They have the same shape and the same size, whereas similar figures are have the same basic shape to them, but not necessarily the same size. So if you would, go ahead and take a minute in your blue packet, or your yellow packet, whichever color packet you have there, and go ahead and take some notes for the vocabulary part. So again, two figures that have the same size, the same shape, but not necessarily the same size are similar figures. An example of that could be, for instance, let's say you go on vacation and you go see the Statue of Liberty and you want to have a little souvenir, which is maybe like a little tiny Statue of Liberty thing you could take home and just put on your desk at home. So those would be similar figures, the actual Statue of Liberty and then your little model Statue of Liberty. Two airplanes could be similar figures if you have like a model airplane compared to the real airplane. They're the same basic shape but not the same size. Now it's important to know what we're going to use for the symbol for the word similar, again meaning same shape but not the same size. And it is this symbol right here. It's like a little wave. That's what we're going to show for two shapes being similar. Now when two figures are similar, the angles in the figures will be congruent, which means they will be exactly the same. And I want to add in our symbol for the word congruent. Congruent means equal, is usually an equal sign with that little wave over it. And that means they're exactly the same. They have the same measure. So the angles will be congruent. Now the sides, obviously, the corresponding sides, the ones that match up with each other, they are not going to be congruent. They are going to be proportional. And so if you think about what we've just learned about scale, there's going to be a scale factor that's going to be applied going from the sides of one shape to the sides of the other shape for the shapes to be similar but not exactly the same. But again, we've got to keep it proportional. So if you think about the picture of my family and how if we're going to enlarge it, we want to keep everything in proportion. That same idea happens with similar figures. All right, so up at the top of this page, there are two similar triangles, and it's really important if you notice up here how this is written. It says triangle ABC is similar to, notice that wave, triangle XYZ. Whenever you are told two triangles are similar, you're actually given a lot of information just by looking at the order of those letters. So if I have triangle ABC, a similar triangle XYZ, then if the letter A is first, that means that that angle corresponds to whatever is first over here. So when we write the order of the triangles being similar, we have to be very careful that everything matches up. So what does it mean? It means angle A will be congruent to angle X because A is first and X is first. Angle B will be congruent, remember congruent means the same measure, to angle Y. And angle C will be congruent to angle Z. So again, a lot of symbolism there. If you didn't know this already, this little sideways V kind of looks like a less than sign. That's going to be our symbol for angle. Again, this is our symbol that means congruent or equal in measure. And then this is similar, the little wave. Okay, also if you notice, you can tell how these angles are matching up by the little arcs that you see here in the corner of the angle. So A has one arc, X has one arc. B has two little arcs right here, see? And Y does. And then angle C here has 3, angle Z has 3. So that also tells you which angles are corresponding and therefore congruent. Now, if I go back again, up here at the top, right here, and I look at the order of the letters, it also tells me which sides are corresponding or matching up with each other, which means they're going to be proportional. So, side AB corresponds to side XY. They are each the first 2 letters up here. AB is the first 2 letters, XY is the first 2 letters. Side BC, that's the last 2 letters, will match up with side YZ, the last 2 letters up here. Again, notice that order. It's very important. I'm going to erase this so I can do some underlining. And then we have the first and the third letter, AC, will match up with the first and the third here, XZ. And all of these ratios that I get when I compare the triangle on the left to the triangle on the right. So notice all the letters up here go with the left triangle, and all the letters down here go with the right triangle. The way that they match up, they will make a proportion, which means all of them are going to give me the exact same ratio, or if I want to take that back to what we just learned, the same scale factor. Okay? So, this is how similar figures work, and especially the order of those letters up there at the top, how that works. Okay, so let's look at another example. It says, are triangle TPN and triangle GKR similar? Well, 2 things have to happen for triangles to be similar. Number 1, the corresponding angles have to be congruent. They all have to match up, and the corresponding ones have to be equal. Number 2, the corresponding sides have to be proportional, which means they have to make the same ratio. So, look at the order up here of how we were told we're looking to see if the triangles are similar. And so, angle T is first, so it would have to be equal to angle J, and let's look and see what they are. T is 60, I'm sorry, not J, but G. T is 60 and G is 60, so they are equal. So there's my first pair of angles. They check out. Whoops, I'm writing it in the wrong spot. Angle T is congruent to angle G. They're both 60. Okay, then I have P should go with K. So is angle P congruent with angle K? Well, let's look. Angle P is 90. Angle K is 90. Yep, so those are equal. And then finally we have N and R, the last 2 letters. So is angle N congruent to angle R? Yes, they are. They are both 30. So our first criteria for 2 triangles being similar has worked. All the different corresponding angles are congruent. Now what we want to do is we want to compare the sides to see if they are proportional. So again, you want to go back up here to the order of the letters to see how the sides match up, because if you look at these pictures you're going to be given, like if you look here, a lot of times the triangles aren't going to be just clearly matched up where you just slide one kind of next to the other. If you look at this one is rotated, and so it's not as clear to see which sides are matching. So what you want to do is look at the order again up here of the letters. So TP is the first 2 letters, GK is the first 2 letters of the second triangle. So TP over GK should equal. Now we're going to move on, and I'm going to erase this to give myself some room to talk about this to you. And PN, second 2 letters, KR, second 2 letters. So I have PN over KR, which should equal, and let's look at the first and the third, the first and the third, TN over GR. Now let's look at the picture and let's put all the values in. So TP is 16, GK is 8. Where am I getting those values? Right here. I look along the side. This is 16. GK is right here. It is 8. PN is 30. KR is 15 if you look at your picture. And finally, TN is 34 and GR is 17. Notice that I'm naming the sides by naming the 2 letters of the endpoints of the sides. Now, Are these proportional? Do all of these equal the same ratio? They do. If you simplify each one of these fractions, it would be 2 to 1. And so they are proportional. So both of our criteria have checked out. The corresponding angles are all congruent. The corresponding sides are proportional. And so we know that these two triangles are similar. So we did all that work just to write down one answer. Yes, those two triangles are similar. Okay, why don't you go ahead and try the next problem and see if you can list the corresponding sides and make a proportion. And let's see if you can use a proportion to find a missing side. You're told that these triangles are similar, so make your proportion and cross multiply, and let's see if you can get the answer. Okay, this is what your paper should look like if you've completed the corresponding sides and making a proportion. So notice all I did is I took the order up here and I made my corresponding proportions. JK over RS equals KM over ST equals JM over RT. Again, using the order of how the letters is matching up here. So in that case, if I look at these last two, so I look at this proportion here and I fill in my values, I get 5 over X equals 3 over 9 because it says right here KM is 5, ST is X, JM is 3, RT is 9. And then we cross multiply on that and you'll get X equals 15 centimeters. So that's how you can use similar figures to find a missing side. Now go ahead and try the next problem that looks like this. Hit pause and then come back to the video. Alright, so this is what you should have for this particular problem. I went ahead and listed all the corresponding sides, but the only ones that you actually need for this problem are these right here. And then you fill in the spots. And you can also kind of tell these look like they are aligned correctly, so you kind of match them up. So you know this side over this one will equal this side over this one. And so that's the proportion that I set up right here. So you're going from one triangle to the other and making a proportion. All right, go ahead and use that same technique for this next problem. And notice that all you want to find is the length of side MN, which is this side right here. So see if you can match up the sides in some fashion to make a proportion to solve it, and then come back to the video. Okay, your final answer for this one should have been at that missing side for MN, which I called X just to make it easier when I did my proportion, is 2.5 centimeters. Now, the way that I set it up was I just used this side PQ over this side LM, and then I set it equal to this side over the missing side MN. So I had 6 over 3 equals 5 over X. These are all of the corresponding sides, and all I had to do was pick one where I knew the two numbers, how they matched up from the left shape to the right shape. And then I had to find the proportion, this QR to MN, because those are the two that match up, and that's the ratio I needed to find this missing side X. Now you could have solved this a couple different ways. You could have said 8 over 4 equals 5 over X using this proportion. Or you could have said 4 over 2 equals 5 over X. No matter which ratio picked, you would have had something over something equals 5 over X. But either way, no matter which way you chose to do it, so you had 3 different options, you would get the answer of 2.5. All right, will you please try this very last problem here? See if you can list the corresponding sides and then make a proportion to solve for that missing side X right here. Hit pause and come back. All right, if you look at the order and how you're told these two quadrilaterals are similar to each other, you should be able to make 4 ratios that are all equal to each other by matching up the corresponding sides. Again, the order of the letters here tells you how everything is going to match up. And you can tell even by looking at the shapes that this side, AB, is going to correspond with this side, EF. BC is going to go with FG, and so on. So after you list all those, you know that you have to use this proportion or this ratio here because GH is a side you don't know. And then you can pick any one of these other 3 to make your final proportion to solve for X. And so I got X equals 8. All right, time for you to work on pages 9 and 10.